Dive deep.
Yeah, that's the first thing people are going to hear.
Great.
What's up, everybody? It's Dan, and beside me is Brother John. Let's jump straight into it.
How are we doing, everybody? Welcome back to the Borderline Buddies podcast. And we're very excited today. We actually have a new Borderline buddy, and he's famous around here. Let's just say that.
I'd say he is.
We're excited to have him. So we have Tod Eintemen on today. Todd, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, guys. Thanks for having me.
We're super excited.
Honestly, I have told people we're having you on, and I have gotten so many excitements. Like, you're gonna have him. Like, man. Yeah, like it's
been a highly requested
oh man
person. So
from the in between 1 to a couple thousand fans we have, they have requested from all of it.
But really quick, I just want us all to close our eyes. And I want, in our mind's eye, I want us to picture our audience, picture those that listen to us on a daily basis, and I just want you to really think about those people because we do care about you. And Todd, what do you see in your mind's eye right now?
That's a rough question right off the bat.
What do you see? Do you see our listeners?
I see nothing
because your eyes are closed.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was because his eyes were closed or nobody listens to the podcast.
That's probably because
I only had you in my mind.
Is that it?
It's like just John listens to this.
I was picturing Daniel Deering working on his homework, listening to our podcast.
You know who's listening?
Who?
One guess.
One guess?
Yeah, one guess. Who's listening?
I
thought about this. Who? I know one person who's listening.
Is it the Lord?
No.
I was going to say, okay, that's fair.
Grandpa Marshall.
He's got to be listening.
He's everywhere.
How funny would that be if
we could get him on too, man.
Oh, man.
You talk about a legend.
He's a legend.
He would have some stories too.
Man.
He'd be a fun guest.
So Todd, tell us your salvation testimony.
Yeah, let's hear it.
How long have you been around the Hope Baptist Church?
I came in, I believe, in September of 2004. I know it was 2004. It might have been August.
Okay.
And it was ironically right at the time your dad was coming in.
That's right. I was
going to
say, been around with your parents. Right?
Yeah. So that was 19 years ago.
Wow.
And he was, as I recall it, he was carrying around a clipboard and was like, "Brother, I think are you single or something like that?"
Yes, dude.
That's what he said.
And I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Well, I'm the college, whatever that was college and career." And so anyways, I've been and so I come from a Lutheran background, which is I don't even know. It was more like, you just go to church. I mean, it's whatever. I'm a card carrying, fill in the blank. And it's unfortunately how a lot of people do church or Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But but I come from a very, logical background. And so, I remember Kevin Sullenberger talking to me and was like, "Brother, it's not like a lot of people think it's like, they get to heaven and it's there's a scale there." And I'm shaking my head like, yeah, and he's like, "It's not like that." And in my head, I'm like, "It isn't," like I'm thinking in my head. So, but I got saved. You talk about Mike Sudeth. Prayed with me, and it took a couple of months, and I believe it was, I think it was November 14th of that year that your grandpa preached on the woman with the issue of blood, and the only way that she could be healed was, or she touched Jesus and was instantly healed, and but it wasn't, so I made the profession of faith at that time. But a lot of people think like, you just hit with the bolt of lightning and everything. And yes, there it is. You do get saved, but it's been a 19 years of growth process.
Yeah.
And I don't want people to be, when I talk to people, it's like, sometimes I feel like they're discouraged if they don't have this, look, it's a battle. It is it's a discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been through, 19 years of, just, there's some valleys and you look back and you're like, man, I was just spiritually lukewarm. I was just checked out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, does that answer your question?
Oh,
so
yeah.
February 14th.
Yeah, I have it written in my Bible, and I'm always like, it was November 14th.
November 14th. Okay.
And then, yeah,
that's cool. So you prayed with Dan's uncle?
I did. Yeah, Mike was very friendly. I had gone to another church for like 4 weeks, and when I came here, I didn't know. I just knew Baptists were conservative.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's all I knew. And I'm like, I saw this church building come up, and I was like, that looks like a church.
Yeah,
and I was like, I want church. I don't want. It wasn't for me like this. The other style of worship. And when I came here, I got church. But what I mean to say is, I had gone to this other church, and I came and I tried out this church, and it was like the people were so friendly.
Yeah, we hear that a lot.
It really makes a difference.
Yeah,
if you're talking to an unsaved person, things like that. And I don't know if your dad said something, Pastor Marshall, the other day, but I literally thought these people were angels, and I'm like, if I tell you, I thought these people are like, clean and pure as the wind-driven snow, and no.
After being here for 14 years, you kind of see everybody has their battles, but
you see they're still human.
Oh yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool that you got to see the building come up though.
I did, and I was driving by it with my
was-
mom, and I saw it
That's
coming
so
up,
cool.
I think. So yeah, that was really
Man.
cool.
That's funny. A gentleman here, his name is Alex. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Alex.
Alex has been coming. I talked to him.
You know Alex.
Yeah.
Is that okay? I talked to him, and he
Yeah.
told me he was going to church. He was on his way to church, and he drove past, saw this building, and then just came here.
That's awesome.
And now he's been coming, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
but I was like, man, that's great.
That
Like,
is
I mean,
awesome. Yeah,
that's just interesting. He's like, yeah, I was driving, I saw the building, and then we literally were going to a different church, and then we just came to this one.
yeah. And
was
so
like, that's great.
every year for the past 14 years, you've added a new member to the church, right, Todd?
19 years.
19 years.
Yeah, with my kids.
Yeah.
I got this new van out here.
I noticed that church
Yeah,
man out
man.
Is that a 15 passenger?
It is. And
there. He has 19 kids.
I'm going to get a bumper sticker that says my other vehicle is a paddy wagon. I don't even know what that means, but it does
Somebody's
look
gonna
like
get it.
it looks
It's
like
amazing.
I'm carting around criminals.
Do you have carting around criminals? Do you have 7?
I have 6 kids. Yeah.
6 kids.
Is it
6
6?
kids.
I couldn't remember.
Are you guys going for 15?
Oh man. No, not 15. I don't know where we stand. I mean, people are like, because people will just ask you how much, so when are you gonna have another kid, or is it,
Like I just did.
yeah. Like you just said, are you going?
Like, I don't really know. I mean, we'll see.
We're almost to the end of the finish line with just having, with our first, and it's just like
You're
I
about
look
to have your first.
about to have my
Yeah.
first in January, and I look at these families like you guys, and I'm just like, man, these are legends. They know what they're doing over here.
You need a good wife. You
Yeah.
really do.
I think I got a good one.
Yeah,
Might be able to make it.
yeah.
John's gonna tell us what he really feels after the podcast.
I love my wife.
She covers a multitude of my, shortcomings.
Let's get into
Put
that.
it that
Should we
way.
get into that? I'm just kidding.
Let's talk about
Do
how.
it.
Oh my! But yeah, so you got here in 04, right around the same time we got here.
So
Were you born yet?
I was born, so I would have been 4 years
Yeah,
old.
that's right. You were known. You, Nate, and Ben were known colloquially as the heads because you were
heads?
just
The heads?
these. I mean, your heads were all the same as they are today. You
Yeah.
grew into your heads, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Bodies grew
You guys
into your
just had
heads.
a bunch of huge heads.
You refer to
That's
us as the
amazing.
heads.
No, your dad did.
That's great.
Yeah, your dad.
I know what you're talking about though. When a
Yeah.
kid is like, they have a giant head and they're like right at your arm's length right there, and you just
Yeah.
want to grab their head.
I do that all the time.
AJ's like that.
Yes, I do it. I did it all the time with my nieces and nephews. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys know Ken.
Yep.
I would do it with her. Well, I went up to her once. I thought I saw her sitting and talking to my sisters, and I went up to grab her head, and it was your sister. And I was like, "Oh, I'm glad I didn't grab her head."
I get
Because usually
that.
I'll grab them, like turn them towards me. I'm like, "Hey," and then
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to mess with them.
Try to
But I
palm their
almost did it to your sister.
try to palm their head.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
So you refer to us as the heads.
I did not. That was
yeah.
your dad.
That's
To be
amazing.
fair, because
That's a
I don't
great-
make fun of anybody.
That's
and
a great
especially
nickname,
kids,
though.
But
It was honestly so fun to kind of grow up in the being around the singles group and just being around and like getting to eat donuts when you guys had them and stuff was just
Yeah,
the
man.
coolest thing, man.
yeah,
Such
I'm
the
sure
coolest
you.
thing.
Yeah, you were around through that whole thing too. Yeah.
You guys, it was kind of like the dream team college and career group.
Yeah.
It really was. Like you guys had it was you and you had like who else? Joel and Dawn were in there.
Yeah.
And you guys had like the Roquets were in there, John and Brittany,
Yep.
and just a lot of people.
Peter Rosebrock, Ricky
Rosebrock's-
Lugo.
Ricky Lugo.
he
yeah.
was
I
he
forgot
was
about him.
awesome.
Yeah. Just some mega families that we have today came out of that
Yeah.
singles group.
That's funny because that was like, I don't remember singles as far as when my parents were over. I was just too young.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the one before that.
I actually
basically.
didn't know until this year that your family was doing the
They
singles
did it
before
for 10 years.
before us. I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah, they did it
Yeah,
for
your
10
dad
years.
was a legend. I
Yeah.
wasn't here when he was. I think he left before I got
He
here.
left
but,
in 02.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I believe
six,
it was 02.
so 6 kids.
What's the oldest age and youngest age?
13 and then to 3 months.
3 months.
Oh,
Just
3
they
months.
just had a
Yes,
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was
So what-
funny because they were bickering on the way here, and everybody, when you have kids, they will tell you, "Oh, they grow up so fast," and you know, and it's true. It is very true, and
Right.
especially for a dad, you get a little, misty about it. But they were bickering in the car coming here, and I said, "Someday I will miss this bickering, but today is not the day. So you guys better be quiet." You know,
I love Stanley. Stanley cracks me up.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
the girls and boy ratio?
5-1 girls. Yeah,
It's 5. Is it
5
really?
to 1.
Stan's
yeah.
a Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Okay.
I sat by him in junior church today, and
He's
That is
yeah,
insane.
he's-
That's my wife's got 5 girls in their family, just 5.
Is that right?
Yeah, and then my
Yeah.
mom is all 5 on her family.
so
If you remember Kurt Kaywood, my
Yeah.
grandpa. Yeah. But that's crazy.
So with Christmas coming up, what's the strategy when it comes to Christmas gifts?
Yeah,
do
what's
you guys do like they have wish lists, or do they do the classic circle the stuff in the
Kind
the
of.
magazine?
Kind of.
Magazine.
Do you go off?
Start in August.
Do you go off wish list ever?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like to, because I like surprises, and they know I'm pretty good. I've earned their trust.
Earn their trust. That's very
And
Yeah.
but it's pretty like I'm like you like. Look, they don't believe in Santa and everything, but
right. Break it to them young.
I don't. I love the surprise. So
Yeah.
So they don't see anything, they don't know anything until Christmas morning, and then it's like, bam!
You guys don't even put Christmas gifts under the tree.
No,
Ah,
no, we
man.
don't.
So it's an overnight
Oh,
thing.
really?
Yeah. It's
You
like
put them under the night before? Like,
Yeah.
So they just come out to
yeah. So
That's
it's
exciting.
like
Okay.
bam! Hit, and it's like whoa.
How early are they getting up for those?
They're not too bad. I was
You have a rule, or-
terrible.
Yeah, when you
And
were a kid?
Oh yeah, I was the worst brat ever. But they're not bad. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
they
that's
probably
funny.
get up at maybe 7 or something.
Oh, okay.
That's not bad at all.
I just remember as a kid that was the worst night of sleep.
Oh.
I was trying to go to bed
Yep.
before because you're just you're so excited,
Oh.
and then it was terrible.
I got a story, but I want to ask everybody: what was the best Christmas surprise? The best Christmas surprise you ever had,
Well, it
like
was
gift
finding
you
out
got?
that Jesus came.
Is that what it was? Amen, brother.
No,
That's
but I
good
mean,
stuff.
as far as present wise, probably I got that. That's hard. I say it was probably when we got the new Xbox. I think it's when we got the 360.
When you got a 360,
we weren't expecting this gaming console.
Yeah,
in my opinion, I guess I asked Dustin because it was both of ours. But like, we weren't expecting that because that was those back then were maybe $300, and that was a lot. Even
that was a lot of money.
Money's a whole different thing now too.
Yeah.
Even than it was just 15 years ago. So like, I think that was that for me.
The biggest
personally.
The biggest Christmas surprise I ever had was
The trampoline.
No.
Oh.
How old was I? It was like not long ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago. I was still living at home, and I wanted this thing so bad. I kept asking about it. And it's one of those gifts that you're like, there's no possible way that they would actually get it for you.
That was
And I'm gonna reveal it when I got revealed to it in the story. So I wanted it so bad, and I was like, there's no way they would possibly get me this thing. It's way too expensive.
Yeah.
And so Christmas morning comes, and we're wrapping up. Dad's got the trash bag, and we're picking up the wrapping paper. And my dad's like, hey, can you go out to the shed and get me? I think he wanted me to get him a wedge for like splitting wood because we always burned wood or whatever. And I was thinking, like, why in the world did he want me to get a wedge? So I go out there, I open up the shed, and boom, snowmobile.
Oh, wow.
And I was
Really?
like, yeah. And it was like such a surprise.
That was like a big one or like a kid's one?
Yeah, it was like an Arctic Cat snowmobile, dude. Like a
Wow.
awesome.
Was it new?
It was. I mean, like it was new to us.
It's new enough.
It was
new
used.
enough.
Well, that answers that question.
Yeah.
It was used.
It was used, but it was so sweet. I still have it. It's sitting over there. But
Does it work?
Yeah, it works. I haven't ridden it in a
That's
while.
awesome.
Yeah.
We hardly ever get snow anymore.
I know.
But so he had my mom in there videoing, and so she starts the video, right? And we go to watch it back later to see my reaction, and mom was videoing her face the whole time.
That's
So
amazing.
they didn't get my reaction.
Oh, man.
That was it yours or all yours?
It's such a mom thing
Just
to
mine.
do.
Oh,
It was
really?
just me out there. Mom was in the shed.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that was a great surprise. What about you? What was the biggest surprise for you?
I think probably the NES Nintendo back in Christmas of '88.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Because I had asked for a ventriloquist doll for that. And my mom was like I didn't. You don't
He
know
said
that,
nope.
that's only for weird people, But
That's hilarious.
because my mom would try to steer me away from that, and she's like
She said video games.
so it was a surprise.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad because it was. We really got a lot of use out of that.
Yeah, I bet. But
That's
more than
hilarious.
a ventriloquist doll, probably.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what that came from.
So for me growing up, my parents had a system of you had your presents and then you had a main gift. That's just how we did it. You had whatever presents and then you had a main one, which was like the Xbox. Like you just had a big present at the end.
Yeah.
Well, one year when all of my siblings, I think all of them were moved out, my mom was my main present was going to be this like what was it? Something nice. Maybe it was like it was this nice pair. I can't remember. Maybe like a nice hoodie.
Mhm.
Is what it was going to be. But they did what your dad did to you. Then they said, "Hey, we forgot one. Go look in the bedroom." And it was actually a new TV. They got me a TV.
Oh.
And so, but that was the whole point of the trick. Well, my mom accidentally said, "Here's your main present," and it was just a pair of plain black sweatpants.
Oh no!
So, and here's the thing: I am not at all to hurt their feelings. So I am acting so excited.
Yeah.
And my mom was just telling me, she's like, "I'll just never forget. You were acting so happy that you got these black sweatpants." Because I was like, "Thanks, guys," and in my head, I'm like,
Black sweatpants.
black sweatpants. Like I am always grateful for what I get. But I was like, why is like other things cost way more than my other presents? And then when that happened, I was like, oh, and my mom goes, yeah, that wasn't supposed to be the sweatpants. I remember that moment. I was like, had that disappointment, but I felt bad. Like, no, I'm happy that I got a present.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that moment being like, oh, this was kind of a letdown.
That pressure of being excited for getting a gift is it's hard.
I give you credit because I would not do that. No, I mean I would just ream out my parents for
Really?
I did. I was bad. But my kids, I'm embarrassed of it,
I mean, yeah, but you were a kid though. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But my kids, it's like wow, where did you come from? Because they're more like that. They just, they appreciate it, and that's awesome.
How long did it take you to earn their trust with gifts? Have you ever gone have you ever failed epically?
I don't think so.
You just had it. You just got it. You have
I
the
got
gift
it
of
from
gifts.
my mom. Was like the master.
Oh yeah. She knew you wanted that NES instead of the.
Just the surprise and everything.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. And like I said, if I have, they haven't told me.
Yeah.
They're nice about it.
Black sweatpants.
Oh my! I'm gonna get you that. I'm gonna get you that for Christmas this year.
There you
black
go.
Sweatpants.
You forgot your mug again.
Is it back at your house?
I think so.
Oh my word! Dan got me a mug. He got me a mug with our logo on it.
I actually listened to that episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was cool.
That was
I did, and then he's left at my house twice. And my wife goes, "Does John not want the mug?" I love it. I'm like, "No, he does." I go, "He just forgets it."
You were just gushing over it. Like
I was.
Oh man, this is awesome.
It turned out better than I thought it would.
Yeah,
because I think I told the story on there of everything. Right?
Yeah, how it upcharge and stuff.
How much it ended up being, and I was like, this it ended up being more expensive than I wanted it to. But when we saw it, it looks really good.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly,
is it one of those that like you put the beverage in there and the logo shows up, or is it?
No, it's just already there.
That's pretty sweet.
No, I couldn't spend that much on them.
Yeah,
I gotta spend that on my wife.
Yeah, I love buying gifts though for people. It's so much fun. We did drawing names this year
for like your family.
Yeah, we drew names this year, and then it just fell apart because my brother Ben is probably the most ultimate gift giver.
Okay.
He spends so much money on people. It's honestly embarrassing for Christmas, but he has the money to do it. But he goes crazy, and so we had a little bit of an issue because everybody had names, and then we all put links of stuff that we would want in this app. It's called Giftful or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And so everybody's like dashboard on there of what they want, and you can go on there and claim stuff. And so you go on there and you claim it, and then you buy it or whatever. Well, come to find out, Ben just went rogue and just bought everybody a ton of stuff off of their wish list. And so people are like buying stuff without looking to see if it's claimed because it shouldn't be. And so like we've had to send some stuff back, and
that's hilarious.
It's been a process all because Ben just went rogue on it. But nobody's mad about it.
Yeah.
Ben's buying gifts for everybody.
That's a good problem to have.
And so I ended up doing that as well. I'm kind of going off script a little bit too, but I love buying gifts. I let Lucy open one gift early, just because she definitely would use it being pregnant and stuff. I got her I kind of did it for me, so I didn't have to run the errand anymore. But she always wants bags of ice from Chick-fil-A, and she wants me to go buy a bag of ice.
That is a weird request.
It's a weird craving.
Is it like a smaller ice? Is it a certain type?
It's a pebble ice, so it's like crunchy ice.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you can chew it more.
Yeah, she loves it, and so I got her one of those ice machine makers, and so she's been using it like crazy.
So that saved you.
It saved
You're
me.
looking for the gas money.
Yeah, definitely.
Aspect of it.
It'll definitely add up here in the next year or so.
Yeah,
it was pretty expensive, but that was a good.
That's awesome.
That was a really good gift.
I love. Yeah, like you always heard growing up that giving presents is more rewardful than receiving. You don't realize that. In my opinion, until I got older. I love giving presents.
Yeah, you don't get it,
especially when I know it's something that this person is gonna love.
Oh yeah.
Like Kate always said, like she goes, "You're really good at giving presents." I'm like, I really pay attention with her. Like I'll notice things throughout the year that she'll want.
Yep.
And remember that.
Mm-hmm.
My brother is actually the one that reminded me, because like Dustin showed me. Oh, well, I think Bethany listens to this, but Dustin showed me this like list on his phone of like things that Bethany has pointed out over the last couple of years.
Wow.
Just list of stuff. He's like, I just type it in my phone and
That's
keep
nice.
it for birthdays, anniversaries, and I'm like, that's genius.
That is really.
So
nice.
I have stuff. I have a few things like that on my phone, or do I, Kate?
Yeah.
She's gonna be stealing your phone.
Yeah,
looking for
stealing
it
my
now.
phone. But yeah, it's like it's so much fun to see somebody get excited.
Uh-huh.
That was fun giving you the mug. It's like
It was a
I
blast.
knew you were gonna love it. It was just a fun time.
Good stuff. So what segment you got for us?
I do have a segment.
What are your socks?
So I'm gonna tell that story. I didn't realize this before, but they're nutcrackers.
I
Is
love
my
it.
sock.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Look at the.
Oh no!
I had no clue that was there. And Kate goes, "Did you wear those to church?" I'm like, I have shoes on. I go, but I had no clue that. I thought they were just Christmas socks.
Christmas
You know
socks,
what I
yeah.
mean? I'm not going to read it.
Yeah.
But either way,
That's hilarious.
I do have a segment, but I have one story. What happened in our class today? We had a Santa scare. So we're in the 5-year-old.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
not a Santa scare.
We have this little boy named Oakland. You guys see him, really big hair?
Yeah.
He was there, and he's sitting there and he's drawing, and he's just telling me about his dad. He's going to go with his dad. And he's really excited, and he goes, me and my dad are going to do a Santa list. We're going to write a list to Santa, and then little
Oh no.
one of the two, I think it was Declan and
Oh, no.
Rodney, I think.
You don't even need to go any further.
Yeah, just immediately, Santa's not real. And I'm just sitting there, and my wife is like walking across the room, and I hear Oakland go, yeah, he is. No, he's not. And then I hear my wife just go, you gotta stop this. So, and I do not yell. I don't with these kids, but I had to yell.
Yeah.
I went, hey, and every kid jumped. I felt bad, but I had to put a stop to it.
Can't
So I
ruin.
went, hey, and they all jumped and just looked at me. And I just went, we're not talking about Santa. And it never came up again. I think I scared the life out of those kids. But I was like, I am not dealing with this outside of this class.
You saved his whole Christmas.
Yes.
He was
I
probably
know.
like, I told you it was real.
Yeah.
Like this guy, you see how serious this teacher is about
They're
it.
like,
Santa.
does Brother Dan believe in Santa?
That's amazing.
But it was one of those, and I was telling Brother Jeff this, and the funniest part actually was my wife,
yeah.
because Oakland has only been twice now.
Yeah.
So my wife looks at me and goes, why do Christian kids have to ruin everybody's Christmas? I just started laughing.
That's because we preach at him. Santa's not real.
Santa's not real.
I know.
But that really made me laugh, and it was one of those moments in class where you're just like,
Oh man.
I'm not dealing with this.
I don't think I've ruined. How do you break it to your kids? Do you let them go along with
Did
it, or
did you guys
they
do
never-
Santa at all?
What's that?
Did you guys do Santa?
No, we never
Okay,
did
yeah.
Santa.
See, we never did growing up. Did you?
Oh no, I don't think I.
No.
No.
I don't
I
remember
did.
talking about it.
I did.
How heartbreaking was the news?
Well, I was in the 3rd grade.
That's pretty far.
Yeah, it was really getting deep. And I'm like, I wonder where Santa got this, because I think the movie was like a Top Gun
Oh, okay, yeah.
cassette tape. I'm like, I wonder how Santa built this Top Gun tape. And my mom was she'd had enough. She's like, I bought it at Kmart. And that was it. That was
it.
Yeah,
Were you
and
really
I was
were
like,
you that
okay.
surprised, or were you kind of putting the pieces together?
I had run the logistics in my head.
As a 3rd grader?
Yeah, but it was deep. No, I wasn't devastated, but there's something about the magic of it, and it's like, but the world will tell you have to have Santa to have magic. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't need it. You don't.
Not at all.
Yeah.
That's amazing though.
My dad said he was at school and he came home crying because all these kids just kept telling him Santa wasn't real.
Oh,
He's like,
man.
hey, Mom and Dad, they keep telling me that. His parents just went, he's not real. He started crying more.
Dude,
I just started laughing.
you're better off just starting out with no
Honestly,
Santa.
yeah.
Oh,
But
my.
that today was so like I guess just one of those things where you're just like,
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with this
Yeah, you
in my
can't.
Sunday school class. Like,
It can't happen.
man.
It can't happen at Sunday school. You want them to be able to come back, and if they,
Yeah,
if they get that news in class, they don't want to come back to church.
No,
yeah.
You don't wanna
already,
relive that?
uptight. Viewed as like these uptight.
No, yeah. But I got a
party
little.
crashers.
Yeah, that's why I got a little bit annoyed at those two boys. Like immediately they hear Santa and they got to yell, "Santa's not real!"
I know.
Like, come on,
I know.
guys.
You can say anything else about Santa, but that's what comes out.
No, I know. It's like, oh man,
That's hilarious.
apparently my Bella, my niece,
Yeah.
Dustin's little girl, apparently she just believes in Santa, even when they keep telling her that
Regardless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she just does. I don't know how much she does. Probably not as deep because of what they keep saying.
Yeah.
They'll tell us that, but every time they tell her, no, he's not. She's like, yeah, he is. It's like, okay,
That's amazing.
okay, you want to believe, you know what I mean? But like every time for Christmas, all her presents are from her parents. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just one of those things with her. It doesn't really matter. She'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I saw this
it's
meme.
funny.
I saw this meme that it was talking about Santa, and it was like, why does Santa pull up to a house in a neighborhood and make one stop and then just take off in every single movie and show? If you think about it, Santa never comes to a neighborhood in any movie or show, goes to one house, and then goes to the next house over. He just takes off.
Yeah, he does. He goes to the next city or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, he just takes off.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Well,
make any sense.
because you can't. It's not possible.
I know.
You know what I
because
mean?
Yeah,
There's
but I mean,
there's what? How many billion people on the planet? 6 billion people on this planet, or something like that. Like,
did you guys even have a chimney at your house when you were growing up?
did.
Okay, so it kind of made a little bit of sense.
so like, what about the?
Oh yeah, and you're like, I was the most naive
yeah.
kid, which is like and I think because of that I become like really skeptical and cynical, which isn't always, it is okay to a certain degree.
Yeah, but you've been lied to before.
I've been lied to, and that's the way my wife that's the way my wife thinks of it. You know, you lie, you know, you're lie. What else are you know? If you lie to your kids, they're gonna think, you know, hey, what else is he lying to me about? You know?
That starts with Santa. That's why Santa's a sin.
I've
Believing
just
Santa's
heard,
a sin.
I remember seeing off some random TV show, some kid thanked Santa for like this signed football or something, and the guy is just like, yeah, Santa waited in line for 6 hours to get that. And I'm just like, signed. That would be my thing. Like, kids, this big fat guy gets all the blame. I want to be the fat guy that gets all the glory.
I know.
Why does this guy get it?
Yeah, you just chalk it all up to magic.
Yeah,
you just it's magic, man. Good stuff. All right,
how
what's
come there's nothing for the parents?
I know, right?
I do have one. I have an interesting segment for you. Okay, so I'm gonna give you, brother Todd. I'm gonna give you a slang term used in 2023, and I want to see if you know what it means.
Because you guys are like, are you any of you older than 25?
No.
Okay, you're 25. You're like
23.
23. Yeah. For those listening, I'm 45. I don't know. I don't know how I got here, but they're looking at me and they're just thinking this guy's got one foot in the grave here.
So I had my dad on. So
okay, yeah.
The thing I wanted to do this with my dad. Now that I thought about it. But the sad thing is, I don't know like any of these.
I really
don't.
Even know
so like, I was going through these, but I'm like, I want to ask somebody older just to see, and then so I'm going to ask him. If he doesn't know, we'll go to you.
Okay.
Some of these you'll know.
Probably.
There's a few that I know, but there are some when I'm like, I don't know what that.
No
means.
way. Yeah.
So I'm going to start.
Hopefully, they're not inappropriate. If we don't know what they mean.
No, they're all inappropriate.
Okay.
No, they are. All right. So the first one is boo. BOO.
Oh, okay.
Someone might say
isn't that like significant other or?
Yeah.
Good job.
It is nice. No, you see, you know all of them.
My boo.
Yeah, my boo. Yeah.
Now, have you ever said that?
Have you ever
I've never called my wife my boo.
I need you to do that. Would she think it's a compliment, or would she be very?
She'd be like, "What do you say?"
She'd probably think I was trying to surprise her or something.
Yeah. Oh,
boo.
Trying to surprise.
My dad used to say like, "Oh, he didn't say boo." You know, like I talked to this guy and I was telling him this, and he didn't even say boo. You know, that's an old. Whatever.
Yeah,
old thing. Yeah,
it is. It was in the early. I mean, this isn't that long ago, but it was used in like the early 2090s, I believe.
Yeah.
One for one.
Yeah. All right, you ready? This one, you might know this one. Bougie.
I don't know that one. I'm gonna have to.
What do you think it means?
Bougie. I'm
John,
thinking
you know what it means,
that it's inappropriate and it slipped by.
It's not.
Okay, John, you know what it means?
It means like high class or like expensive.
Legit, high class is the first thing down there. Yep.
Yeah.
Just means you're fancy or rich. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like someone's bougie.
No, I'm not that.
You can add that one to your vocabulary.
All right, here's this one.
That's hilarious. Bussin'.
BUSSIN. If you want, I can use it in a sentence.
It's like riding a bus, but plural.
I mean, but it's nothing to do with riding a bus.
It doesn't know.
Bussin'.
Use it in a sense. I don't know.
Like, this food is really bussin'.
No.
You know what it means?
Is it like good or like?
It means really, really good.
Really good or delicious.
And it's usually used for food.
Okay.
Like if somebody has like chicken wings, like these chicken wings are bussin'. I've never used it or heard it until this. Here's one John uses all the time. You probably heard this one. I don't know all the time, but I've heard you use it. Yeah. Cap or no cap?
Cap or no cap?
It's like cap / no. Like you're either saying that's cap or you're saying no cap after. John, I'll let you use it in a sentence if he needs it. Like I've heard you use it before. I do know what it means.
It'd be like Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time, and I'd be like, that's cap. What do you think that means?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
What does it mean, John?
It means you're a liar. That's a lie.
I think cap is lying. No cap is it's like saying he's the greatest quarterback of all time. I'm not lying.
Not
I'm
lying.
lying. Instead of saying that, you say cap or no cap.
We're gonna see you later, and we're gonna be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
no cap, man, bougie,
Yeah, I
my
got one.
boo."
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Catch these hands.
Catch these hands.
Catch these hands.
Oh man, I have no idea.
What do you think it means?
What do you think?
These hands. I'm just thinking of a football player or
Football?
something.
Okay.
All right. So here's the example. My girlfriend is way prettier than yours. You're about to catch these hands.
Oh, okay. Like you're gonna get like a fist in your face.
Yeah,
Yep.
fight.
It's a fight. You're about to
All
fight.
right, all
Yeah.
right, I got you.
Yep. Yep.
Where do these people come up with these?
I don't
words?
know. I don't know.
Did you
All
see
right.
that? I wonder if you're gonna do one, but I'll wait. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll say it after.
What about chill? Like just chill.
Like
chill
you're
out.
really cool, like or like just calm down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. It is. It's like being either calm or somebody that is really cool and calm. Yeah.
You got that
Yeah.
one. I think I don't know. I don't remember. I think you might be 2 for 5 or something.
Yeah. Here's
I don't
here's one. Drip.
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 So that guy has drip.
That guy's got some drip.
Uh,
We're gonna break his brain.
I don't know if I want drip. Sounds like you need to go to the doctor for that.
It's got drip. You need to go to the doctor for that. stuff.
I have no idea.
What's it, do you know what it is, John?
Drip is like like style.
Yep.
You got style.
It's really cool clothing.
Oh, okay,
You're wearing
okay.
cool clothes.
Yeah,
I'd say you got some drip.
I used to before.
I saw a picture of you back in the day. You definitely had drip.
I had drip when I was looking for a wife. I had
Yes.
some major league drip, but
That's hilarious.
yeah.
I saw a picture of Todd like probably how many years ago was that? That showed you the other day.
Probably 18 years ago.
18 years ago, he had the whitest New Balances you've ever seen.
It's
Fresh.
amazing.
They were drip.
They were
They're
drip.
drippy.
That is.
But I was also wearing like some sweatpants.
He's got some
and-
sweatpants. Yeah.
You were rocking
Because
it
I
then.
just love sweatpants.
He's definitely
I
had drip.
agree.
Did you hear that Riz was like the word of the year?
What is Riz? I don't know what that means.
You don't know what Riz is?
No.
Riz is like, it's basically like another word for flirting. Like
That's
you're-
what that is?
Yeah, yeah.
Riz?
Interesting,
That's
yeah.
weird. That's
How
the
do you
word of
use
the
it in a
year.
sentence?
Like I'm gonna go Riz up. I'm gonna go Riz up this girl. Like I'm gonna go flirt
Now
with
you
her.
said this was prior to.
Prior to,
Lucy,
yeah, I
Riz
used
up.
Riz
Wow,
on
okay.
my wife, and it worked.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you know what goat is?
Oh yeah,
You know goat.
yeah.
Okay.
Like Tom Brady,
Yeah, yeah.
So what is the
Yeah.
acronym though? You got
Do you know what the acronym is?
greatest of all time.
yes.
Yeah. Greatest
Course.
of all time.
I'm not. Yeah,
You're
not You know that what-
old.
I'm not that
Yeah.
out of it.
I'm just going off the list. Do you know what IYKWIM stands for?
IYKW.
I would not know this.
I have
Do you know
no
it, John?
idea.
Yeah.
Oh, you do? I didn't.
I know what you
this.
mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
It's so
He
funny.
gave you the answer.
I gotcha.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That's I've never used that.
It's crazy that
Honestly.
you can actually like that. You can just
Yeah.
hear those letters and know exactly what that means.
So what about keep it 100? And I'll do
Keep
one
it
more after
real?
this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep it real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it real.
100.
Good.
Yep. Yep.
You got to say like 100.
100. Yeah. Yeah.
What's the last one?
I'm trying to find a good one because there's a ton of them that are just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
What about slaps?
Slaps.
Mm,
I like because you know,
yes.
but like when you start breaking these down, you're like, why do we use these?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've heard this one slaps. Like
No, I don't know.
like this. Well, how would you say it?
It was another word for bussin'.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it slaps. That's
Okay.
super good.
It's super good.
These words, what
Aren't they? Is
Yeah.
it not interesting?
I bet you Grandpa Marshall would know more of these than I.
No
There's
way.
no
I
way.
bet you'd know about twice as many.
He is on Instagram.
I should have marked
He
which
is-
ones I used.
Dude, that's
Use it again
hilarious.
later on. But
There you go.
I wanted to do that segment because it's interesting to me.
You got to add those to your vocabulary.
Yeah.
You probably hear Stanley saying some of these pretty soon.
Yeah,
Man, that
probably.
slaps, Dad.
Yeah.
You're like,
You're
what?
gonna be like, "What'd you say, Dad? You got nice drip. You need to go to the
Yeah.
doctor, son."
That's amazing. But I did want to get into your business.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
What is it?
it's like
I don't know. I haven't.
you're still
figured it
getting
out
there.
yet.
Yeah. So what's the name of the
It
business?
is Crunch Mouth.
Crunch Mouth.
And it
Studios.
always brings a smile to people's faces.
Yeah.
when I say, it brings a smile when I say it.
That's a great name.
But-
It is.
I tell people, but you'll remember it.
Yeah.
You do. You
Yep.
do. So yeah, it's called Crunch Mouth.
Uh huh.
And it started out doing stickers and things like that, like travel stickers, and it's just it's just sort of a petri dish. I mean, there's shirts, and I'm expanding into other.
Yeah.
I don't know. I tell people I kind of want to make I'd like it to be a lifestyle brand, and I don't even know quite what that means, but
But you do all your own designs and stuff.
yeah.
What do you have a specific designs that you do? Is it like related to like a certain topic, or is it just random things, whatever you're thinking?
Random things. I mean, I've gotten into away from location specific stuff like vacation stickers and things like that.
Okay.
But
So basically, the ones you would see at like a what do you call that?
Like a postcard type thing?
Yeah, no, what's it
Or is
called?
it-
Souvenir shop. Like you'd see it at a souvenir shop.
souvenir shop. Yeah.
Yeah. So you did a bunch of like you'll do dates, or no, you'll do states, and
Yeah.
you'll do a design of the state with like something that they're known for in it and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
We got some from you guys last Christmas.
Yeah,
I still have some of
Your
them.
dad got some on Etsy.
Yeah.
He bought some on Etsy. Yeah.
So
I think some of them got destroyed, unfortunately, in the fire. Though.
yeah, they did. I saved a couple. Like I have West Virginia, and then I think I have Michigan, maybe an Ohio one.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
the question I have for you is like this. So you do a lot of designs, and you like freehand them all.
I try to, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where it's at.
So
yeah.
did this start when you were growing up? Like you always had like a creative side like that?
No, what I really wanted to do was play guitar.
Really?
And I would practice just crazy, and I just didn't have the aptitude for it, you know?
Yeah.
And this is just something I never, I still don't consider myself an artist in any.
I would say that you're pretty much there. I think you're getting there.
Yeah, but if you look at it, it's intentionally, some of it's pretty tongue in cheek art. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Not, I mean, it's not Rembrandt.
No,
I mean,
not at all.
But I was always, when I grew up, I loved Shel Silverstein. Have
Okay.
you ever heard of him?
Never.
But I was
I
just,
think I have, yeah.
I was very much affected by some of the images that he drew.
Mhm.
And basically, so I took on, the perspective of, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I want people, part of it, when people see, anything that I draw, I want them to think I can do that. I
Yeah.
mean, it's relatable,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what is your process? I've seen some pretty amazing ones from you. If your process from like how you are inspired by an idea or like something inspires you, and then what is your process to make it into a design? Like,
Well, for one, I try to keep a little notebook, and
I see.
or I actually write it wherever. If I'm struck with something, what I found is if you're like, really trying to, I need something, that's not when it comes. But you better grab it when it does come.
yeah,
And so there's really a glut of ideas, and it's really like, okay, what do I want to spend my next few hours working on? Because so now I'm just, it comes to pencil to paper, and then it's just like, you hope you're feeling it.
yeah.
And because some, what I want is, really loose, just
Yeah.
drip,
Yes.
I love that term this guy
Just-
used.
just really
Yes.
loose. But sometimes it's like you're up, you feel uptight and things like that. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, you figure. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, definitely. So you go from, so you got to grab it, and you got to grab. Have you ever had an idea where it's like, I know I had a really good idea, I just didn't write it down, and it's gone?
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
always do. But I think, but if you think about like comedians and things like that, like Jerry Seinfeld, they write stuff down. Like they're
Yeah.
constantly writing stuff down because you
Yeah.
don't want to,
That's what I was going to get into. It's interesting how things like artists, even musicians or comedians,
Mm-hmm.
and people in that, the way they get most of their content is by thinking of it right then, and they're like, I got to write this down.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then it becomes a bit / or a portrait, whatever you want it to be later on.
That's
and
what
musicians have said that. Like, they'll be working on a song and then they'll just be like, oh, I figured out how I want it to go.
Yeah.
And it's like how it's not as much, not that they don't sit down and work, but like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of times it's like it just comes to them for some random reason or from some random inspiration outside of the work.
That's how Tim Hawkins is.
That's what he
records stuff on his phone. Like he'll do voice recordings and like
You want to hear a cool story about that? Is I don't know if you've ever heard. I think it's called like Round Ball something. I forget the name of the song, but it goes do 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 do. You remember the back when the NBA used to be like
okay,
good?
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about like at the beginning intro thing?
That, yeah, that it's called. It goes.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do,
Yeah,
do,
I know
do,
you're
do,
talking.
do,
The
do,
logo would.
Yeah,
I know you're talking about.
Okay, well, John Tesh, the story. He's the guy who wrote it, and he was at an airport, and it just came to him, and so he got on a payphone and recorded it into his
mailbox. His what do you call that?
Tape recorder or whatever.
Or something.
Yeah. So
Answering machine.
Yeah. So he recorded that.
That's hilarious.
I love
That's
that. I
hilarious.
think that's a great story.
That is. So
go ahead.
I was gonna say, take us through your process. So like you got an idea, you jot it down, and then you go back and read the idea. You freehand it first, right?
Yeah.
And then where do you go from there? Like how do you get it onto into your computer and stuff?
And then when do you know it's finished as well?
Yeah.
Like when do you know? Oh, I got it. This is great.
I want it as raw. I kind of want it as raw as possible.
Yeah.
Because my current process is, look, there's a lot. It's pencil to paper. There's a lot of erasing. There's I've heard of people like, oh, they just use a pen and that's. And I'm like, I could never do that because I don't want to mess up. I want it good on paper. So so you get it and you're like, and then I ink it.
Yep.
And then I take a photograph of it, and then I put it into Illustrator. And my process is I use Live Trace, and it comes out. And then I basically kind of fill. I call it kind of a stained glass type of a thing. You have the outline of like your, and then I put color behind it. So yeah,
they're pretty incredible. If you're watching. Or if you're listening to this, go and look up Crunchmouth Studios, right? Is it Studios?
It's just crunchmouth.com.
Crunchmouth.com.
So there is you have your own website.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And then what's the Instagram handle?
I think it's.
Is it Crunchmouth Studios?
I think it's Crunchmouth Designs.
Okay.
Somebody.
I don't know where I got studio from. But yeah, you can look at some of this stuff, and you're right. It is very raw, but it's like structured. Very structured though. Like you definitely have a niche look to it.
Exactly, and that's what I'm going for. It's really a backlash, I think, and you're going to see more of it against like AI and things like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because humans have to have a place, somewhere. Still, and I wouldn't say it's a backlash, but it's kind of like. I'm doing what I can do, and I've always liked a nice raw look to it. So yeah.
I saw this one article where this guy, it was like for the nature photograph of the year or something. It might have been for National Geographic, and they have like they do an award or whatever. They get first, second, third place, whatever. And so people all over the world take pictures of nature or whatever, and there's different categories. It's like a fine arts for pictures, but for like the entire world. And so they'll upload these pictures, and then people or National Geographic will pick a winner or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, this guy added a picture to the contest, and he ended up winning like first, or I don't know, it might have been first place,
of course,
for National Geographic.
And
then later he was like, "Yeah, this is a completely AI generated image."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't even a real picture.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is the danger or whatever. He's basically exposing, what AI is capable of. But yeah.
He's like, and by the way, I'm keeping the money, but this is a warning to you guys.
I'm taking the money, but this is an AI, I didn't even take this picture.
The funny thing is like, it's like that in like the music industry now, where like an AI can come up with some sort of tune that certain people like.
Mhm.
And so you can make different songs out of this type of tune, or like
Yeah.
people like a giant bass drop type thing.
It's crazy.
And so like AI can make all music for them. They don't really.
Have you seen the
It's
stuff
nice.
where AI can mimic like what do you call them, artists
Yeah.
sound voices, like they can
Yeah.
mimic them.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like you hear
Yeah.
a song and you're like, it would be
It's
like
a
a
little-
rapper.
it's-
It would be like a rapper singing a country song, and you're like, what in the world? But it's his voice.
Yeah.
I've seen-
It's wild.
seen some where they use them as apps. You can have like
Dude.
I saw one, and it was Snoop Dogg reading the Bible. Like
is-
they took a picture and like
Yeah.
had his voice reading it, and I was like, that's weird.
That is unbelievable.
The fact that they can do that.
I think you're going
mean-
to see a lot of, like, you talk about, you see on Facebook, like, oh, my account just got hacked and things like that. We're not going to know what is real.
Mhm.
There's going to
Oh,
be,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
hey, I didn't really say that,
Oh yeah,
Um,
man. It's nuts.
It's going to be crazy. But, the Bible says, be not afraid of sudden fear.
Mhm.
And when I first saw, I first heard AI and just how, like, whoa, it's here,
Mhm.
It's like, hey, God's still in control,
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He knows what's coming.
But it really calls out your pride, AI does, because look, people are so proud about what they do, and everybody is like, well, nobody can do it quite like me. Well, I bet you AI can.
Yeah.
They definitely can. They
So
definitely
you're
can.
expendable,
Yeah.
bro.
But I was gonna ask you. So we have you've seen our logo.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
on. It's just like on
Yeah.
our banner for
Very creative.
on Apple Music. Yeah, I created it, and I was just like, I took a while to do it, and it was like I'm just not really impressed with it, and I really would like your flair and your touch on it. And
it's like
Only if you have time.
if
like,
you, yeah, we don't want to like,
because we're not filthy rich.
and we would be willing to. I would be willing to pay as well.
Yes.
And I just want you to put your kind of spin on it,
Yeah.
and kind of do whatever with it.
or
I
we just
mean,
have ideas.
yeah,
we just
honestly.
need anything.
it'd be like the like when Tampa Bay they bring out like the retro uni, which are the best unis
Yeah.
ever. The Buccaneers.
Yep,
Yeah,
I know what you're talking
Best unis ever.
They're sweet.
And it's like, so yeah, you want something like
about. Definitely.
like an alternative.
Well, I mean, yeah, it might be.
Yeah,
we
might
might.
be it.
It might be the new one. That's
Yeah,
what we're
because
saying.
well, for one, the logo is great. It's fine.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it is
It's on a
good.
coffee.
For my
I mean,
first time.
It's worthy of coffee being on a coffee.
It's on. It is true.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'd definitely love to do that.
yeah, we would love
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
We just want. I mean, it is good. It's fine. We've always thought like
It's fine.
when can it be?
Yeah, but I think it would
I
just
don't
be
know.
if we could, like, our podcast is so unstructured, and if we can do,
You know it is.
if we could do the flair and the pizzazz, I think we just really mix our two
Yeah,
our what do you call it, genres kind of mix and overlap. And so,
I love that. I think people can take it too far, but don't judge a book by its cover or just this melding of. And I see it taken out, too far a lot of times. But I do like sort of that sort of melding.
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
Of things. Yeah.
and we'll send
funny.
we'll send like our 3 listeners over to you.
Yeah, there you go.
Get you
Love
some
that.
clients.
I mean,
Just
all
crash the website.
yes. It's funny because we're
Eli and
Yeah,
who
Eli.
else is-
Yeah, Daniel Deering, and then Dan's mother-in-law.
yeah, and then Daniel Deering, and then does Dave still listen to it as much as he did?
Yeah, he does. He does
Okay.
every once in a while.
We do have some people that do listen.
Yeah,
How many?
And-
Now this isn't going out live, is it? This totally
No,
needs to
no.
be
Not
okay.
live, but we can't disclose because
I do not edit this very hard though.
yeah.
Okay.
So I always would tell people, which I wasn't worried about having you on. I would tell some people we'd have on though. I'd be like, listen, I don't edit this very hard. I'm just saying, like, if there's something that you want take it off, you need to tell me right then. If not, it's going to be on there.
Like if you had
Like-
Mel Gop on or something.
There you go.
Like,
Yes.
gonna need to have a 2-minute delay on this thing.
Yeah, having some technical difficulties.
There are a lot of people we've talked about having on.
Yeah.
And you were one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
And then so I'm glad we got to have you on. We did get my dad on,
Yeah.
and we've there's so many people we want to have on
Yeah.
now because it's so much fun to do.
But do you got something else, or we gotta wrap this up?
We can wrap it up. I know. I wish we could go longer. Hopefully, you'll come on again sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of your first podcast experience?
I think it's great.
It's just
I
a
love
great
it.
conversation. That's
It
so
really
rad.
is. You guys got
It is.
It's really cool, man.
Yeah.
When we had my dad on after it, we were driving back to my sister's, and I asked him what he thought, and he surprised me. He was like, "It's really fun because the whole point of a podcast is to talk. There's no video for
Yep.
ours,
Mhm.
and so you can't just sit there on your phone, even though I'm trying to pull something up.
Yeah.
But even though you can't, you're supposed to talk, and then after about, I would say every time we have somebody on, usually after like the first 10 minutes, you're just going.
Yep.
And you kind of forget you're holding a mic.
Yeah,
you're
You're
just
just kind
rolling.
of you're just talking.
Yeah.
And it
It's
goes
so
so
much.
quick too. You're like, we're the 90
we're
minutes in.
We're at almost an hour.
So let me ask you guys something. Where do you see this podcast in, I don't know, 6 months, a year, 2 years?
In a year?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Probably the same.
yeah. My biggest thing is the reason why I do it is to look back and listen to conversations that I had
Mm-hmm.
down the road, look back and just see what
In
my life was like as
20
a
years from
23-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, just see who was in my life and, just fellowship, really.
Yeah.
It's just a fellowship podcast.
It is we've just had random people on. It's some, not random people, but we just have people on, and it's interesting. Like we had Eli Feldman on,
Yep.
Oh,
and
man.
like
Just
That's
good.
gold.
Yeah. Just, Our
it's-
whole goal is good, clean conversation.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
And you get to dive in and you get to learn about people.
Yeah.
I was telling him when I had my dad on, there's stories I never heard.
Mhm.
I'm like, and he's just talking away, and none of them were like bad, but it was him before he got saved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he just had some interesting things before his life, and it made it really interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But I did want to say, for our faithful listeners, we missed last week's upload because we were having we had some technical difficulties. We had one recorded, we just hadn't get it was doing something.
I don't know what it's doing. I tried again. I'm gonna try it when I get home.
Yeah,
But for some reason, it's being weird, and I'm actually going to probably record a little.
yeah,
Hey guys, this is Dan. This is the reason, because for some reason it wouldn't upload. I don't
Yeah.
know why, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
try it again. Hopefully,
it's
it will.
coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
So, but
If
thanks
not,
for
I
coming.
might just try this one. Hopefully, maybe this one will just work.
Yeah, just go.
You know
for
what I
this
mean? Be like, hey Uriah, sorry man,
one. Yeah.
here's deleted.
So shout out to Crunchmouth and thanks
Yeah.
for coming on, Todd. It was a
Oh, my
blast.
pleasure, guys.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Music's playing.
It's playing.
Godspeed.
We have
Yes.
music that's
Any-
playing right now.
Any last words of wisdom?
Oh, that's it right there.
That's it.
that
Oh.
groan. Yeah, that groan.
Oh my!
Just-
Yeah, just keep on doing it for fun. Yeah, I mean, love it.
Love it.
Yeah, love it. As your dad
We
would
do
say,
love it.
Love it.
We wouldn't continue doing it if you know what I mean.
Yeah, if we didn't,
We
love
love doing it. We are over 1,000 downloads.
That's a big milestone.
It's a milestone.
Kidding me? 1,000?
We've had 1,000 downloads now.
over?
I
how
just
many-
checked it. Over
we
the
gotta
How
course
many
of
of
when
them
we
are
started.
Eli re-downloading? it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
You guys
Eli.
listen to them all probably.
He
10
just
times.
download, delete, download, delete.
But yeah, that's pretty.
But we
good.
hit over 1,000. But that
How
was
many
cool.
episodes? Is this
20. This is 20. Well, the other one didn't upload, so 21 has been released.
So
This is 24.
21.
Wow, that's impressive.
I mean, it's actually
Couldn't tell you.
something. I can't believe.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember when we first started it, we were like, "Are we gonna get like we're gonna have 10?" And we had like 200 off the bat,
yeah,
and we've been averaging about 200 a month.
yeah.
And let alone that we let 12 of it's me and you.
Wow.
Re-listening to them all.
No, but that was. I thought I'd tell you that. I was like, we hit over 1,000.
Yeah, we got a meeting to get to.
We gotta end
but
this.
thank you all. We love you, Borderline family, and welcome, Todd, to
Yes. Borderline buddies.
welcome to the Borderline Buddies.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on.
My pleasure.
Signing off.
Signing off.